An employee recognition programme is the opportunity for colleagues within a business to thank each other for the great work that they do on a day-to-day basis that potentially might get missed by senior management team. So it's really to spread the good work that is done across the business on an everyday basis. When creating a recognition programme, the business needs to understand their audience. By understanding their audience, they can create then a compelling programme that everyday workforce will be able to relate to and be able to participate in, and do so relatively easily and enjoy the experience of doing so. Recognition is all about having fun. It's all about the emotional piece of coming to work and enjoying being part of an organisation. Women generally tend to give more recognition than men. It's a fact. That's because it's a more emotional subject. So organisations need to consider their demographics. They need to know how many men are within the organisation and then create tactical activity to ensure that there is a higher inclusion of men as well as the women within the business. There are two key things that they need to think about. Firstly, it's ensuring that there is peer-to-peer recognition within the business. That's allowing employees access to a platform or the process to enable them to give and receive recognition between each other. That's primary. Secondary is getting the manager buy-in. Without the manager buy-in, the programme will ultimately fail. Managers have enough to do on a day-to-day basis. You're bringing in another layer of work for them to do, so it needs to be something that they can understand and they can implement and they can be part of relatively easily. Because once they're behind it, it will naturally flow down, and then you'll get the peer-to-peer recognition happening much more naturally also. It's really important that employees communicate their programmes really well in order to get buy-in from their employees. Communication's got to be regular and it's got to be relevant. It's got to be relevant to the audience. Companies can very easily create a communications plan right from the outset, which can then be deployed using all the various channels that a business has and has available to them frequently in order to communicate with their staff. So this can be, team meetings, intranets, newsletters, magazines that a business may already have. So it's tapping into those channels, but ensuring that it's regular, but it's also relevant to the audience. So for example, where someone's car is broken down, a colleague is driving by and they pick them up, they can send a recognition and say thank you for helping me out on that day. Additionally, it doesn't have to stop there. Length of service is a really important milestone now within businesses that a business should recognise, and therefore goes beyond the process of giving a thank you. So the inclusion of length of service awards is a really important factor that businesses should consider as part of their overall recognition package. My top tips for creating a recognition programme: understand your audience. Create a programme that the audience can access with ease, both at peer-to-peer level and manager down. Create a communications plan right from the outset, and then that can be deployed over the programme period. Ensure that the KPIs that you set at the outset are realistic and achievable, but push the performance of the business, and then at the end of a programme period, at least then you can look back and see what you've actually achieved. And reward, ensure reward is relevant. Recognition is about the act of giving, it's about the act of presenting, it's about the act of belonging. It's not necessarily about the tangible value that a reward may be perceived to be giving.